Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible
now. Okay. So, so it's a simple console log statement. So I'm just writing this code in this order, okay? And I try to execute this line of code, okay? Now I need to know the output, like which order it will execute actually. So can you just try?
Okay, so like it will first log 1 and then 4 and then 3 and 2.
Okay. So why I jump to 4 and come to 3?
Because
Only mention.
yeah, set timeout will take some time, but console log will not.
Okay, okay, fine. So now I take that set timeout function inside a function, okay, x. Now I console log I, but I define the variable after this function, okay, and I execute x. So what will happen here?
Okay. Set, I guess it should be undefined, but I'm not sure.
Okay, okay. So suppose I paste it in up, whether it will work, but still it is in outside that timeout.
Yes,
But
then it will work. It will print 1.
fine. Now is it visible? This JSON structure.
Yes, it is visible.
So this is an API response. Okay. Um, Here, if you check, we have a name object and this value like menu1, menu2, menu3, like that. Okay. This name will come for sub item as well. Like the main object is like this, and inside that we have a sub object. And similarly, in the same object line, we have another object which will have a name with the menu3 and sub item. The sub item again have a sub item, something like this. Okay.
Okay.
So it's like a generally it's like a tree structure of object. Now I need to console log everything, or I need to store everything in a array of data. So I need to go through entire node and get the value. So what will be the approach I can?
I didn't get it actually. Like, what will be the output for it?
I mean, I need to go through entire node and store this name value in a array.
Every name.
Every name.
Okay.
Like menu1, menu2, menu3, menu4, something like that.
So one thing we can do here, we can use a recursion function. So what it will do inside the recursion function, I will first loop it. Then next thing, I will store the sub items on a variable. Then I will call its function and I will pass the sub items on it. That will also return the name. So,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, so I think we can start with some basics of React. Can you explain what is the lifecycle method and what is the use of these lifecycle methods in React?
Okay, so basically in React.js, there are three phases of the life cycles. First is mounting, and second is updating, and third is for unmounting. So, like when our component loads, component did mount, we have that gets called, and when we update any state, when any update, when any state gets update, component did mount gets called, and when we have to destroy it, when then you we use will component unmount in class based component. But now in functional based component, we have also access to it. So using use effect, we can achieve the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you explain a little more how I can convert a class-based component to a functional?
Okay. Can I write in the chat like how we
Yeah,
can?
yeah, sure, sure, sure.
So for component did mount.
Okay, maybe you can share your screen. That
Sure,
will be
sure.
better, I guess.
That's
Fine. Yeah.
Is it visible?
Yes, yes.
So let's suppose for component did mount, we can write something like this UD fetch, and we can pass an array on it, and then we have to pass empty dependency. So it will be called on component did mount. Second thing, when component updates, then this thing like let's suppose I have to I have a state called user. So when user data changed, it will be called component did update. And for the unmounting, so all we need to do here, we just need to write the return. And inside it we can pass anything to destroy it.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Fine. So how do you manage a state in a component?
Which component?
I mean, functional component, or how do you usually manage the state?
Okay, so first we need to import I'm writing the syntax for it, use state from React, and all we need to do we have to declare here. Let's suppose we are going to store user data, and then we need to like make a it works like a function. So let's suppose I will write like this, and then we need to use state here, and we can write any if we are storing it on an edge object, so we can pass curly braces or empty thing. So when we will use set user, and we will pass any data, so it will be stored, and using user we can achieve this data.
Okay. So this is applicable for only that component, right?
Yes,
How
for
do
functional
I
component.
can manage? How do I can manage with the multiple component or inner component?
For inner component, actually I'm not getting you. As I got like you are telling, from inner components, how we can update parents components state, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So let's suppose let me uncomment it again. So let's suppose this part is for user component. It is component, and I have another thing. Let's suppose child component here. So as a props, we can pass this thing. Let's suppose I will use the child component as name of child. Sorry, like this. And here we can pass set user inside it, set user, so that inside the child component we can get it as a props set user, and inside it like anywhere wherever we want inside component read mount or component where it like where we have to set the users. So using inside the child component we can just pass the data here from here. Let's
Okay.
pass anything, so it will be set to
Okay.
the parents component.
Yeah, it's called the prop drilling, right? How we can avoid the prop drilling?
Using Redux, we can avoid these things.
So other than Redux, any other?
Yes, we have many things like context API.
Mhm. Okay, so can you explain what exactly context API and what is the difference between Redux and context API?
Actually, for now, I'm not using context API. I have actually for learning purpose I have used, so don't know much difference on it. But for Redux, we can achieve no, in Redux we have to make the reducer, and inside the reducer we need to pass in action any action, and in action it when we dispatch any action, it will gives us type and payload. So according to that, our globally stored state will be changed, and to get the data of it, we just need to let's suppose if I'm using a class based component, so we can use connect function, that is a higher order function, and inside it we can pass map state to props and map dispatch to props. So map in map sorry state to props, we will get the updated data as a props, and map dispatch in map dispatch I mean we can dispatch any action.
Okay, so it's a class-based approach, right? So
Yes.
now, if it is a functional, what we have to do?
We had hooks called use reducer, use selector.
A
This kind.
selector. Okay. So other than that, any other? Okay, use reducer. What is the role of use reducer? What we can do with the use reducer?
Reducer.
Use reducer. You mentioned we can use reducer and
Use select.
use selector, right?
Yes.
So what is the use of use reducer?
Like in use reducer, we can pass function on it to dispatch
Mm-hmm.
for to dispatch for the dispatching purpose. I mean.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So you are implementing some application, okay, and maybe you have to get a API
Mm-hmm.
and fetch the data and store it in the Redux store. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So where exactly you will implement the fetch activity, API call and all?
Inside the action.
I mean, which stage actually? Like you mentioned, action. There will be a reducer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so which stage you will call the API?
Actually, I'm not in. What stage are you asking?
Can we call the
Like
APIs in
inside the.
actions or reducer or inside directly inside the component load? Which is the preferred
So
one?
first thing, we can call the API when the components did mount. So that
Mhm.
would be a better practice.
Okay, fine.
Mm.
So, what is a middleware in Redux?
So basically, I have worked on Saga and Thunk, both middleware on it. So
Mhm.
what happens in middleware, it actually allows us to intercept our action. So that
Mhm.
helps on it.
Okay. So, why we need a middleware? Okay, it's help us to interrupt the call, but why we need a middleware in Redux implementation?
Mm. Actually, it is also beneficial to log the errors on it.
Mhm. Other than that, is there any importance? Only
There
for
is
error log we need a middleware, or is there any?
for intercept and error log, and there might be many, but actually I don't
Mhm.
remember.
Okay. You mentioned you used to use Redux Saga or Redux Thunk.
I have experience with both. Actually, I have worked on many projects. That's why, as per the requirement, I have worked.
Okay. Redux Thunk, what is the use case? Still,
So actually, the main difference I found on both, Redux Saga was using a functional generator.
mhm. So for Redux Thunk,
Thunk was I'm not sure, but it was directly dispatching the action.
mhm. Okay. Okay, fine. So usually for the development, are you using JavaScript or TypeScript?
Actually, from 6 months, I'm also learning the TypeScript as per the project requirement.
Okay, why we need to go for a TypeScript instead of JavaScript?
Okay, so actually, when we use TypeScript, so it would be better to know in this function what types it accept. So there will be less error
Hmm.
because of it.
Okay. Can you just mention any use case, like maybe in a few previous project, any use case with the TypeScript actually?
Any use case for it, like are you asking for any example, right?
Yeah, you can mention any example where exactly the advantage will came for TypeScript. Yeah.
So actually, previously I was, as I told, it was a project of CRM. So the client was managing the all the components of React.js that was developed in React.js using a storybook. So in a storybook, we were separating the every component to make it run so that the new users will directly copy the code and use it. So it will be like user friendly for them. So on that time, we have implemented a TypeScript in Hajamont, as we can say. We have converted almost every files on the TypeScript. So there was many components what parameter it takes. So like that, we were declaring the interfaces for it.
Okay. Fine. So do you familiar with the server-side rendering in React?
Not that much.
I heard about Next.js.
Yes.
I mean, did you try with any of your local project or something with Next.js?
With Next.js, for learning purpose, I have tried it.
So what do you feel difference from pure React and Next.js?
Okay, so in Next.js, there are many inbuilt things we like we do not need to write any separate route for it. We just paste our component inside the pages, and there will be a new route with the name of the component. So that's also benefit, and it also provide SSR. So and inside Next.js, so we can also make our APIs. So that's the benefit.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. Okay. So, how do you style a component? What is your strategy in styling React component?
Okay, so basically on a few project I have used directly CSS extension for it, CSS file, and we have imported in our component. Also, I have used style component for it to
Any
also.
anything any libraries or something you have any experience?
Yes, I have also used SAS and less.
SAS analyst. Okay.
Yes.
I mean Bootstrap or any kind of
Yes,
that kind of libraries.
yes. For the library, I have used these things like Bootstrap, Tailwind, also Material UI. As per the requirement, it depends.
Okay. So in Material UI, what is a make style function will do? Any idea?
Not that much familiar, but I think it almost do the same thing as a style component.
Okay. Can we use multiple class name in a same object for the Material UI? Suppose I'm creating a grid. Okay. In the grid
Actually,
element, can we use multiple class?
Actually, I'm not that much familiar with Material UI.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. So, what is your testing strategy?
So for testing, I use unit testing.
Unit testing.
For the unit testing, I use Jest and Enzyme.
That's enzyme. Okay. So, how do you usually prefer to select unit testing? Like, Are you creating unit testing for all the component, or how is your strategy selecting which component need to go for unit testing, something like that?
So like yeah, almost for the all components we write the unit testing. So we also use to snapshot every component.
Mm-hmm.
These
Okay,
things.
you're taking a snapshot for all the component.
Yes.
Okay. Suppose I have a requirement. Okay, I'm creating an application, and it should support two type of language. Suppose it's like English and Hindi. Okay. So if you are developing a entire application with React, what will be your approach to do this language change or language translation?
Okay. So for the globalization purpose, there are many libraries available, so we can use it.
Library, like, can you mention anything?
I have to search it actually. From
Okay.
many days I'm not using, but only in one project I've used it.
Do you work with any kind of CMS, content management system?
Yes, I have and only learning experience with WordPress.
WordPress, okay. WordPress, I mean, with the React or a simple WordPress?
No, no, simple. But by the way,
Simple.
I have developed and like I have developed a plugin in React.js for WordPress also.
Okay. So, how do you interact with this component and WordPress data?
Interact
Uh,
for
I
interaction
mean,
purpose.
WordPress is using to manage the content, right? Maybe it will store some data. So, how do you interact? Like, how do you get the value data from WordPress to your component, or what is the role of that component actually?
Can't say. I have to see the documentation for it.
Okay, fine. Okay, I think, can we go for a small code test? Okay.
Sorry.
Can we go for a small test?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So I will give you one API. Let me. Okay, so this is a simple API. It will list out some user information like name, last name, all those information. You got it, right? Okay. So I need to load this value on the page load. Because I'm on the React on the page load, you have to render this data in a list. Only first name is enough. You just need to list out the first name.
Okay, so I have to make it run anywhere, or is it fine if I write the code only?
Can you try Code Sandbox? Maybe I can
Okay.
share you the link.
That's fine. React.
I'll send you the link. Maybe you can try that.
I have opened this one.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah.
So I'm using this one. Let's suppose API. So for it, I will use use effect. Use effect. Be mounted. Okay. Then I will also to make it store. I will just state for it. It will be array or single data.
It's like an array. You can open and check actually. Like,
Okay, I'll check it. So I'll use a sync and await thing here. Function fetch API. So to call the API, I will be using inbuilt fetch function for it.
usually for your development, are you using Fetch or any other libraries?
We can use Axios also, but I'm more familiar with fetch. But if you allow, I can use the Axios. I have no issue with that.
Yeah, Fetch is enough.
Okay. Okay, I made a mistake. Actually I was calling the array. Sorry, string here. That's why. That was the mistake here.
Okay.
And then I will return res from here. Res.json actually. Sorry. .json. Then I will return one more thing here. Okay, so here I have data. Now the thing I can do, set user. So when user has the value, we can use map function here, and that will have data. And one more thing, I'll be using index for it. Return search and returning an element called what mistake I made here. Okay, so actually to make it call, I have to use inside it the curly braces, so that it will work in a better way. And it should have a unique key. So for this purpose, I'm using the index for it. So here it is.
It's good. Suppose I need only the name which a user have more than age 14, something like that. What we can do?
More than 18. Okay. So for this, we can do one thing here. Like we can make a function to filter age, and that will take the date. So we will not use it here. So let's suppose we can do one thing. So I'm directly passing the function here. Okay, then after when it's get filtered, then I will be storing into the set state.
Okay. Okay. Any other method we can try?
Yes, inside we can directly use filter inbuilt method for it.
Okay. It's look good. Okay, so in your previous project and all, what is your team strength? Like how many members are there?
So there were almost 15 front-end developers, and backend has the different team. So they were using Python for it.
Okay. So how do you manage the project actually? Are you using any tools or something?
Yes, we have actually one tool that is called GitLab. So there are also option for the Kanban. So clients, I mean our tech lead assigns the task for us, and we have to complete it. So later that when we make the when we push, so before working on it, we have to create a separate branch for every task, and when we are done with it, then we raise the PR or MR for it. So later it gets merged if it is bug free and there are no any issue. We also send the build report for it.
Okay. So are you following any agile method or anything for project?
Yeah, we are following.
Okay. So do you have any experience with a DevOps concept like pipeline creation or building and all?
No, but I'm curious to learn it.
Okay, Roshan, I think we are good. So do you have any questions for me?
Yes, like if I get selected, what type of what type of project I'll be working on, and what are the technologies I'll be working on, and is there any possibilities like if I'm working on front end, will I get any chance to work on back end also?
First of all, I will answer the first question. So usually from the UI perspective, we have projects related to React, especially in Next.js. Actually, most of our clients are actually choosing Next.js over pure React actually. So most of the project actually what we are dealing with are Next.js and with the TypeScript. That's the main tech stack actually.
Okay.
And yeah, about the backend stuff. Yeah, when you join the company, it's up to the project actually. Sometimes maybe UA requirement only will be there. Maybe some of the project maybe it will be like a full stack. So maybe if it's mainly we are hiring for a JavaScript perspective, right? So even full stack means it will be like Node.js or something like that in the backend. Okay. But yeah, maybe that based on the internal requirement and all, you may get chance to go for a backend also.
That's fine.
Okay, Roshan, then yeah. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your time.